today.
Welcome to another episode. This is kind of a special one. This has actually been recorded for a challenge, and you'll probably see this video in its entirety after the challenge, I don't think beforehand. So, but anyways, I thought I would include this on its own video because I think it's got there's some interesting tips in here, or interesting stuff to go over. First of all, this is kind of a strange one. Benny suggested for this challenge that we do a run with both players, two-player mode, obviously without the two-player actually being used, and you have to carry him, because this game's kind of unique in the sense that you can carry the other player around. So it brings a different element into the game, because this game's, it's pretty easy on its own. I'm pretty sure everyone who picked this game up could beat it. It's nothing too seriously hard. They give you a lot of lives. It's pretty fair with the continues, so not really much of a challenge there. So it's kind of like a pacifist run, because really, when carrying Dale, the other player, you really don't have time to go and kill any of these guys. So you've got to find the patterns for jumping over them and whatnot. So it's kind of like a speed run, pacifist run type of situation. So I don't know, maybe give it a try. Maybe it will make the game more interesting to you. But anyways, I'm rambling. I don't know if there's too much I can tell you about this stage. Other than the first stage is pretty easy, pretty predictable to speed run, so to speak. I want to say the speedrun record that I've seen around 10 to 12 minutes for this game, which is reasonable. Like I said, if I didn't have this guy, maybe shave another minute, and I'm not that good at doing speedruns, but, I think this one ended up being like 15 minutes and 10 seconds, something like that. So, it definitely could be improved upon, but I don't think I could get as close as they do, but yeah, anyways, that's kind of the records for that going. I guess a little bit of a tip with these spigots. As kind of like with DuckTales and a lot of the other games in this era, you can kind of do a really quick rapid jump if you time it just correctly when you come down. And that's kind of, you can use that to get that spigot easier. What's nice too is, just like a lot of games, you can jump over just about damn near everything in this game. So you can really time out your jumps correctly and skip through a good section of this game. Also, one thing I would suggest for everyone, as far as this game goes, if you're going to do this challenge, that's what I was going to say. Part of his challenge was not to use continues. So this game's pretty generous with lives, but you'll notice, there's kind of a problem when you're doing this. It's not just you who may need these extra lives. It's your partner Dale. So you can get rid of that, or get around that by, when you get the stars that have the one-ups from collecting different items, you'll see me throw him into them so you can get him. Incidentally, I believe Dale only died once in this game, but it's really easy if you get into a bad spot that you're going to want those extra lives. So just go ahead and, if you can, feed him to your second player guy. You usually can get plenty of lives in that box type game, that little after game that you just saw me play after you beat the level. Pretty much, as long as you're fast enough, you can usually get an extra life. It's like 75% of the time. Sometimes they move them on you and it's weird. And it seems to be that the pattern is generated at random, depending. So, but it usually stays the same though, so if you reset, you should be good. These rabbit things or whatever the hell they are, they may look bad, just keep walking into them. As soon as you get close enough, they'll run away. So don't worry about timing out their jumps so that they don't hit you. It'll never affect you. I think we've all messed with these things before where you turn stuff on and off to get through. You will notice though, as we get farther in this game, you have to find creative ways to move Dale around where he's not hindering your playing style or hindering you killing an enemy. So maybe there's more towards just watching it. There's also like that jump right there. There's a couple jumps like that. You have to be pretty precise on it. It's tough. It reminds me a lot of Mega Man. These guys, I like to go under. And you can jump over them too, but I think it's just as easy to time it and go under it. What's cool about this boss is if you time it right, just like that one, you can get 2 hits on this ball. And you can see I was pretty quick, so I was able to get like 3 shots on him. Kind of, my suggestion would be to do what I'm kind of doing now, where I'm throwing. Well, if Dale's in trouble, I pick him up and I throw him somewhere out of the way, and then after that you just go right after that guy. There is a method that I've seen people do. I'm not sure how they do it, where they can catch that red ball or whatever it is in midair. And it's a lot faster as far as throwing it at them, but I don't know. I really haven't figured it out. And I mean, I guess I could, but for this challenge, I didn't really think it was gonna really save me. So, like I said, I did a pretty good run of this game. At least I think so. Those chickens are stupid. This is one of the more difficult ones. It's weird. It's like some of these things activate, I think, when you're close to them. So you'll see me kind of jump out to the left on this top one right here, because I'm trying to get it to activate. Because if you just stand there, sometimes they don't. The one on the left doesn't come out, and then you don't have anywhere to jump. So it's almost like you gotta, there's a lot of tricks in those games like that where you get close enough and the enemies come out or this comes out. So I think pretty sure that's how that works, but I'm not 100% sure. Alright, G. With those alligator guys, it's even if I could kill them, I would almost 100% recommend you avoiding them, because they throw hats, they can jump in weird patterns, you can't jump over them. Just avoid them. Oh, there's a good bit right there. When you get to the top of the screen like that, and you jump so high that you go off screen, sometimes you can make your enemies actually, follow you jumping up. If they go up and you don't have, and they go off the screen, they'll disappear. Same thing with projectiles. Now be careful though too, because I have jumped high enough into the ceiling there where I've taken a hit from something that isn't there. You know what I mean? So be careful with that too. But that, when you're close up to the top like that, that can save you a lot, because you may think it'd be harder because there's no space or anything to jump, but you can kind of force them up there to throw their projectiles and jump over it because it won't be there. That's a little tip. For the most part, this game, as far as this run, it's all a memorization. There's nothing really too, really hard in these first couple stages. The hardest one, I think, is J, the last level. And we'll kind of show it to you when you get there. Don't fall down there. It's just a pain in the ass to get back up, especially with 2 players with this guy. And another thing too with this kind of run, you don't want to have him die in like a stage like this where there's a lot of holes or multi-level, because first of all, you got to wait for him to they take a balloon up and you got to wait for him his timer to run out on the balloon. They'll just drop him. And also, it can be really a pain in the ass, because you don't know where he's going to drop, and he could drop in the wrong space or someplace where you can't go down and get him. Because this is one of those games like Contra where once you progress a certain amount once you progress in like the screen through the game, you can no longer go back. So you can kind of work your way into a tight spot really quick. I always thought that was kind of weird. Water flowers, but whatever. Going up, going down. And there we are, the last 3 levels. I would suggest on this one going up top. And really try to avoid, just keep going and avoid this bubble. We got kind of lucky. There was supposed to be a crab right there, and he wasn't. I'm not sure if it's like one of those you can glitch him out, but I guess I did some sort of secret there, because he's kind of sometimes a pain to get around. On your way up, be careful of these stupid I don't know if there's flying squirrels or what the hell those things are, but they're gonna keep you from running really fast or blindly up the stairs or up these pipes. So just know that this one's in the little trick right there. Just know that it's coming out. Kind of fake them out. I'm sure some of you all are familiar with that technique. All right. There we go. Like I said, that stage is pretty generous with 1-ups. You see, I've probably gotten like 5 of them or something. Go low there, the ant will, or whatever the hell that is, will always jump over you. These pelicans, I'm not really sure about. I think you can jump over them, but I've never really had good success with it, so I don't really know. That was a nice little trick there with the 1-up. I don't really know, so maybe someone out there knows. If you can, it's definitely going to be a tough jump. Let's see. Just know for these, you're going to have to kill pelicans. You kind of want to hit it in the bottom part of the feet. You hit it in the face, they'll swallow it and spit it back at you. You don't want that to happen. There's right there in that box is an acorn. That's a nice score for this section. I definitely needed it. Another one where he eats his way through the wall there. Going up top. Probably the best scenario right there. Again, if you had the ability to, that's one of the coolest things, invincibility. If you could throw the boxes, you know, you may not want to go up to the top or the bottom like I'm doing a lot, but again, when you don't have time to throw boxes, you gotta find creative ways to get around them. Alright, this caterpillar, I say when you want to be in the middle, like wherever he stops and his head is, you want to be right there that at the first time and then move to the right. That way you can avoid his patterns. I think getting in between his second section and his other section of his bodies would be a little bit tougher. Again, this really shouldn't take this long, but it is what it is. There we go. Alright, I think, let's see, one more extra life perhaps, maybe? No? Oh, there we go, got one. Alright, stage J. This is where it gets interesting. These moving platforms and make it really tough. Because sometimes, you know, you're gonna die with your main character, and that's not a big deal, because usually Dale doesn't move or he's not in danger of getting killed. Here is not the case. If, unlike, you know, you can take damage, you got 3 damage counter, and you see he's got 3, but if any one of your characters falls off of this platform there, it's an instantaneous death, and if you die, if you're dead and waiting to be respawned, and your player dies, you have to start the level all over again. You can't just start back up where your other guy is, so that can make this stage pretty tough. Harder than it really should be, so you're gonna see, I'm gonna find some creative ways to get around these damn parts. This is pretty easy right here. Be careful, sometimes when he comes down there he throws his hat. I like to stay right there. I think you can actually jump over them, but I don't know. Here's like, just go through the back here, you can kind of avoid them and you don't have to wait for them to go all the way down. One of the more important things to note here is right there at the beginning box, you'll get an acorn there. You're gonna need it. You're gonna want to have 3 going into this next section because it's a lot harder to dodge these. Okay, there's the first guy. You could probably dodge that, but I'm not sure. Alright, time it right there. You gotta hit him. If you're too late, he'll already have thrown his hat, and then you'll take another hit there. Go all the way to the right to where that box is, and the boss will come at you. You go all the way to the left, he'll either fire and you can dodge it, or you go to the right now and he's pretty much gone. Kind of like I don't know what it's called. Kind of use that, you know, I don't want to say lag, or I forget what it's called, to despawn him off the map. This guy's pretty, of all the bosses, he may be one of the easiest. It's sometimes a little unpredictable with the cigar thing, but if you got enough lives, you should pretty much be able to power through. And another good one for Dale, you can usually just throw him right in the corner, and he won't ever get touched. So overall, like I said, I think this game was done in about 15 minutes and 10 seconds was the run time from beginning to end. Let's see, Dale died once, which was in the beginning level, which it probably could have been, or not the beginning level, the second level. Probably could have been avoided, but, you know, it happens. Don't know if I have any too much to say. This is not a bad game. It's definitely kind of more an easy game with this challenge. It moves it up to more of like a medium hard level. So I don't know, give it a try. See what you see if it makes the game more enjoyable for you. So that concludes another episode of Beat This Game Today. Hopefully, I know this is a little bit different than the normal, but hopefully it makes the game a little more interesting. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get a copy of Rescue Rangers 2, and you guys can see me play that. I'm actually kind of interested to see how well that game plays. So, see you later. Remember, rate, comment, subscribe.